Why are the most successful, confident, and emotionally intelligent people the ones you never see on your feed? It is not because they are shy, and it is not because they are antisocial. It is because they have discovered a psychological cheat code that most of the world is too distracted to notice. If you look at your own life and see a graveyard of half-finished projects, a guitar in the corner, a half-coded website, or a sudden urge to learn a new language, you probably feel a very specific type of shame. Society calls you scattered or says you lack the grit to specialize. But today, we are going to look at the psychology that proves your chaos is actually a survival strategy for a wicked future. We have spent months analyzing the psychology of the most misunderstood groups, from the quiet Gen Xers who built the internet in silence to the polymaths who use far transfer to innovate. We are going to decode why feeling like you are behind is actually your brain preparing you for an environment the specialists are not ready for. For the last century, we were taught to play an I-shaped game, digging one hole a mile deep. This worked in kind environments where the rules never changed, but we now live in a wicked environment where the rules shift every single day. In this world, the specialist is fragile. You, however, are building an M-shaped mind. This means you have multiple pillars of depth connected by a bridge of curiosity. Think of the web developer who used to be a beekeeper. On paper, these fields have nothing in common, but through a process called far transfer, that person takes concepts from organic systems and applies them to coding in a way a specialist never could. Your value is not in your depth, it is in your synthesis. But there is a trap. You cannot build every pillar of your life at once. You have to practice serial mastery, viewing your life in seasons where one obsession flourishes while another waits in the shadow. This is why you often see the most grounded people choosing to stay invisible. In our world, silence is not emptiness, it is control. When you post every beautiful moment online, you actually lose what psychologists call psychological ownership. The memory becomes shared property, open to the judgment of others, and its personal value fades. By staying low-key, you protect your internal locus of evaluation. You stop needing digital applause to feel complete and start experiencing moments purely for yourself. This journey of the silent architect often begins in the magic hours between 5 and 7 in the morning. These are the hours when you can build the foundation of your house while the rest of the world is still dreaming. This is not about the grind, it is about protecting your energy. It is about using 1 hour to learn a skill that changes your economic destiny and another to quiet your mind. For many of us, this need for hyper-independence started early. If you were a child who had to grow up too fast, you learned that being visible was being vulnerable. You became the emotional thermostat of your home, reading the room before you spoke. While the world praised you for being mature, you are actually learning to hide your needs behind a mask of competence. But true independence is not about refusing help. It is about unlearning the survival patterns that once saved you, but are now keeping you from resting. The goal of your life is not to finally pick a lane, it is to become a silent architect, someone who builds deep expertise in the shadows, protects their private life to maintain original thought, and uses their graveyard of hobbies to see connections no one else can see. Your worth is not mirrored in a social media feed. It is built in the books you read, the skills you master in the quiet dawn, and the magic of your own unique synthesis. You are not falling behind. You are just building a bigger house.